Okay, hi everybody. Meteorologist Joe Rayo here. Just stepped outside a few moments ago. My driveway can be used by the New York Rangers or by the New York Islanders for a skating rink to practice on. It is just absolutely iced over. Now, interestingly, that was not the case just a few hours ago. We did not have any sunshine out there today and actually had a little bit of light drizzle, but whatever sunshine that was in the sky, the infrared rays going through the clouds interacting with the with the blacktop. When we started out this morning, it was kind of like walking on raw rice, and then that pretty much melted away. And now, under the cover of darkness, whatever moisture has been left over has now frozen into a thin, albeit very treacherous, thin glaze. So, if you're going to be going out tonight, anytime tonight, my advice would be to be extra, extra careful. There's probably going to be quite a bit of black ice from whatever did melt during the course of the day. Again, in many areas here in the Hudson Valley, the lower Hudson Valley, it didn't go or get above freezing, but still the infrared and ultraviolet rays of the sun interacting with the blacktop, helping to melt off at the immediate surface a little bit of that moisture. But now, like I said, it is just absolutely treacherous. So be extra careful, especially on secondary roadways, exit and entrance ramps, and also on untreated roads. And I would hope that a lot of those roads have been treated from what we had. We certainly, or I certainly fell way off in terms of the amount of snow. I had suggested that there'd be, a few inches of snow here and there around the region. We hardly got any snow at all. We instead ended up with mostly an icy situation, an icy rain that fell through much of late last night, through a good part of the day today, in varying intensities. Now it's just a little bit of light drizzle, and I think that the majority, if not all, of the precipitation pretty well will be over, said and done by around 7 o'clock this evening. You could check my latest forecast on my Facebook page, Joe Rayo Weather on Facebook, and among other things, we've got some interesting weather to go through now in the next couple of days coming up. We have a very potent Arctic weather front that's going to be moving on through here. The actual front is going to be passing on through the immediate tri-state area tomorrow along about 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And as it passes on through and we get this rush of very cold air coming in from the Great Lakes and southern Canada into our region, we're going to be seeing some very unstable air, which may lead to some snow shower and flurry activity, and also the possibility for a few hours tomorrow afternoon, especially when the sun is up in the afternoon, of perhaps a few very localized snow squalls. Now, in the summertime, when you get a localized heavy rain shower, lasts for about 5 or 10 or 15 minutes and can put down a pretty good amount of rain in a relatively short interval of time. Talking about a snow squall, we are thinking or talking in terms of moderate to even heavy snow, very strong gusty winds, literally whiteout conditions. We've seen this, so I've seen this over my life over a few occasions. I remember one case when I was living in Throgs Neck. I don't remember the year. It might have been sometime in the mid or late 70s. And where I used to live in Throgs Neck, we had sliding glass doors, which gave us a view outside of the street. And I was right across the street from a junior high school that I attended. So I'm on the phone and talking to somebody, and I'm looking out the window, looking off, and I'm saying, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And I turned around away from the window, continued chatting with the person I was talking with. And I must have turned around again a few minutes later just to look at again out the sliding glass door out the window. I got to tell you, it was like looking out at a blizzard, a full-scale blizzard. Where the heck did this come from? And it literally was whiteout conditions from what was perfectly clear visibility, no evidence whatsoever that this was going to happen. In just a matter of minutes, it went to blizzard-like conditions. And it was around for only about 5 or 7 minutes, but it put down a quickie half or 3/4 of an inch of snow. And if you were driving on any of that, at a reasonable speed, you could have slid right off the roadways. Within a few minutes after all of that mayhem, it just ended like that. I ran outside, stepped outside, and looking up, a few passing fast-moving clouds, stars. It was amazing. It is certainly an amazing thing if you do encounter one of these. This is something that happens with quite a bit of frequency up near the Great Lakes, the so-called lake effect snow squalls, which doesn't last just 5 or 10 minutes, but they go on for hour after hour after hour after hour. And you can see very quickly why up near the snow belt regions of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario, they can pick up a quick 10, 20, even 30 inches of snow in less than 24 hours time. But for us, we don't get that, thankfully, not often really. But when they do happen, and they do happen from time to time, and tomorrow looks like one of those occasions when, with the sharp front moving on through, tomorrow early to mid-afternoon, we could be in line for one of those to pass on through your neighborhood. It's going to, and again, I say very localized, this could hit one neighborhood, and 2 or 3 miles up the road, they may not have seen anything, not a flake. That's what we may be looking at tomorrow. Sounds like fun, doesn't it? Temperatures tonight, by the way, I'm projecting lows tonight of 18 in the valley spots, and this is north and west up, let's say, north of I-84 especially, to 29. That would be for coastal locations and also for urbanized areas like Yonkers and Mount Vernon, and coastal localities like Mamaroneck and New Rochelle. This, again, is specifically for the lower Hudson Valley. Tomorrow, bright and sunny to start the day, a goodly amount of sunshine. So whatever is frozen now, with the sun coming up during the first part of the day tomorrow, that hopefully will melt off a bit. Temperatures actually tomorrow, I think, are going to get to between 27 and 36, or within a few degrees of the freezing mark for most areas tomorrow. And again, helped along by a bit of sunshine early in the day. Watch out tomorrow afternoon. That's what we're looking for as the front passes on through that Arctic front. Snow showers and maybe a few scattered snow squalls. And then after that, flurries, light flurries may be spotty in and around our area tomorrow evening. And then skies will clear out again tomorrow night. The thing about tomorrow night is going to be the winds. The winds are going to be absolutely brutal tomorrow night. I'm calling for lows tomorrow night, actual ambient air temperatures of 8 to 16 degrees, but factor in a west-northwesterly wind gusting at times to over 30 miles an hour. Wind chills late tomorrow night into the early part of the day on your Thursday are going to be somewhere in the 0 to 10 below category. Not enough to issue a wind chill advisory. That would be for or reserved for exceedingly cold wind chills in the 20 and 30 below category. We're not going to get that cold, but certainly it is not going to be a picnic to be out of doors for any length of time come tomorrow night on into early on Thursday. Then Thursday itself, blue sky, bright sunshine, still a rather gusty breeze out there, but maybe not as brutally robust or strong as what we're going to see tomorrow night. The temperatures on, on Thursday, coldest day of the year so far, coldest day of the season, 23 to 28, wind chills probably on the order of 10 to 20 above zero in the mid to late afternoon hours. Then as we get to Friday, lots of sunshine, mostly sunny, temperature around 31 or so. I think we're finally going to go above freezing on Saturday. Saturday, I'm calling for a high in the mid 30s, and then a nice jump to seasonable to even unseasonable mild temperatures when we get to Sunday on into the first part of next week. Sunday, 43, lots of sunshine, lots of sun on Monday of next week, a high of 47. And then for next Tuesday, lots of sunshine, still on the mild side for this time of the year, with a high of around 46 degrees. Christmas Eve and Christmas Day right now. Sorry about all of this, all of you traditionalists out there who want a white Christmas. I doubt very much whatever snow that did fall during this storm is still going to be around come next Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. That being the case, I mean, if temperatures reaching into the 40s, it'll probably be more of a brown Christmas or not a white Christmas for this particular year of 2019. at least here in the immediate tri-state metropolitan area. Of course, we have the first night of Hanukkah coming up on Sunday evening, and on Saturday night, just after 11 o'clock, the official start of the of winter here in the Northern Hemisphere. And after that, after Saturday, the days slowly but surely begin to grow longer once again on our way toward spring and on into May and June. Still a long ways off, but it all begins on Saturday night with the night of the winter solstice, and on Sunday, however imperceptive it will be initially, the days or the length of daylight will begin to grow a little bit longer. So we have, again, next couple of days, really wintry conditions, snow showers, maybe a snow squall tomorrow in places, a cold day coming up on Thursday, and then Friday, things begin to calm out a bit in terms of wind and cold, and then we begin a nice warming trend, maybe not necessarily so much for Saturday, but certainly Sunday and on to a good part of next week. Call it, I guess you can call it a winterlude, even though it's not officially winter yet, but compared to what we've seen today, what we're going to see over the next couple of days, it'll be a nice change back to milder temperatures and more tolerable conditions when we get to Sunday and through much of next week. Let me check and see who we have here on the line tonight. We have Jimmy Z from New Jersey. How are you doing, Jimmy? And Anna Grillo, I guess. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct, or Angigrillo. I'm not sure. Dennis, my old friend Dennis Cassia. How you doing, Dennis? Let's see. Who else is on the line? Timothy Veltman. How you doing, Timothy? Very, very good evening to you. Let's see. Danny Nankumar. How are you doing? And I'm sure, and Alfred Phillips. Good afternoon to you, Alfred. Alfred, I believe you're the one who's up in Alaska, right? I mean, you're up near the Arctic Circle. Tell us what it's like up there. If I am correct in the identification here. And there's Diego Brasse. How you doing, Diego? Again, it's going to be a bit on the nippy side over the next couple of days, and it'll be interesting to see who gets what in terms of any snow activity. The snowfall today, averaging generally in terms of snow, only a few tenths of an inch in most areas. I also posted on my Facebook page a link to the snow amounts that have been recorded. And interesting, at Central Park, I never saw this before. I think the amount of snow that fell at Central Park was something like 0.02. They actually measured the snowfall in the hundredths of an inch category. I don't think I've ever seen that before, but whoever did the amount of snow, in fact, I think I saw briefly, it was an ASOS, ASOS, an automated, at least that suggests an automated measurement. I thought that people at the Central Park Conservancy were making observations and taking measurements, snow measurements now. And if you were with me on the Joe and Joe show with Joe Chiaffi last night, we were talking about how in the 1970s, the way the National Weather Service would measure snow, it was like 9 blocks from the Weather Service station at Rockefeller Center to Central Park at 59th Street. So rather than walk all that way in the snow, they just measured it off of the tops of cars with a ruler. And that's how they ended up with snow amounts back then. I think now they have people actually physically in Central Park who are making the observations. Though again, the snow observations I saw for this evening or for the day today may have been made by an automated system. I'd be amazed to know how that all worked out. Here, Alfred Phillips again. He's up near the Arctic Circle. Here's his weather observation: 4 degrees Fahrenheit, wind chill 22 below 0 Fahrenheit. Here in northern Alaska, western Arctic coastal region, Wainwright, Alaska. And you think it's going to get cold around here over the next 24 to 36 hours? How'd you like to be where Alfred Phillips is, up in Wainwright, Alaska right now? He's already got a wind chill of 22 below 0 and 4 degree Fahrenheit temperatures. And that's actually, Alfred, if I don't think I'm wrong, you're about 4 hours behind us. So right now it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon there, right? 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's like early to mid-afternoon, the sun is about as high in the sky as it's going to get. Or does it get high in the sky? Maybe it just stays low in the sky in Alaska, and you've got those bitterly cold temperatures. John Trebinko, or I hope I pronounced that right, we picked up 6.4 inches here in Williamstown, Massachusetts. And Mariko Brown, when is the East going to start getting cold? I'm in Georgia. Well, let me tell you something, Mariko. I didn't look at the Georgia forecast or the forecast for the southeastern states, but I'm going to make the assumption that some of this cold air that's going to be over us during tomorrow night and on into Thursday is going to spill southward toward you. I would expect that temperatures are going to get probably into the 50-degree category. Again, I didn't look specifically at your neck of the woods, but I think it'll get a bit on the chilly side for you too when we get on into especially Thursday of this upcoming week. Close to 4 inches of snow near Albany, according to Tim Veltner. Maggie and Brophy, how you doing? Back to you. Alfred Phillips, Alfred, I said it was probably around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and Alfred says yes. So that's pretty well the story in Alaska. All right. I've been jabbering away now for about 15 or 16 minutes. I'm not sure whether or not I know Joe Cioffi is going to be doing his YouTube discussion this evening. I'm not sure if I'm going to be joining in on that since I already done this, but we'll see how that all pans out. In the meantime, again, be safe tonight. Be extra careful. Watch out for black ice. It is like a skating rink out there on, again, untreated roadways and is rather rough. Watch out again for the possibility of some isolated snow squall activity tomorrow. Blustery and bitter cold tomorrow night. Very cold on Thursday. And then slowly, initially, Friday and Saturday will begin a slow warming trend, but a big warm-up coming, I think, for Sunday on through a good part of next week. Seasonable to even above seasonable temperatures for a good part of next week. It does look like there's going to be a white Christmas around here, but at least it looks like it's going to warm up some. And after what we're about to go through, I think by Sunday and Monday, we'll be ready for a warming trend. So you make it a great rest of your evening. Make it a safe and great Wednesday, a great hump day tomorrow. And we'll schedule something, I'm sure, tomorrow, either here on my YouTube page or on my Facebook page. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube page for all the latest in terms of weather information and updates. And we'll be improving things as we move along in the coming days and weeks ahead here. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do so, and please tell friends about it as well. Thank you very, very much for all of you who tuned in tonight, and we'll be talking back at you probably sometime tomorrow.